Hello folks, welcome back. In this tutorial, we will talk about inheritance. As the name indicates, inheritance means inheriting the features or getting the features. So let's say as children, we get the features or the characteristics from our parents. Similarly, in Apex also, we have inheritance. The purpose of inheritance is if you have a common functionality, all the common functionality you can put in one class and you can go ahead and extend that classes in other classes, so you will get all the common functionalities. For example, we have an animal class, and a cat is an animal. Similarly, a dog is an animal, a lion is an animal, a tiger is an animal. So all of these different cat, dog, different animals, they all are animals, and they all share some common functionalities. So instead of repeating those functionalities, let's all of these eat, right? All of these eat, but dog has a functionality of barking, so dog barks. So whichever as the common functionalities, if you copy it in each of them, it's like you're duplicating the code. So using inheritance, all the common functionalities we can put it in the animal class, and then you can extend that animal classes in the subclasses. So here, animal class is also called as the parent class. You can also call it as the superclass. And these cat, dog, etc., which extends from animal, they are called as the child class or the subclasses. Now we will do an example to illustrate this. We will create a class called as vehicle, and in the vehicle class, a truck can be a vehicle, a bike can be a motorbike can be a vehicle, a car can be a vehicle, right? So in this case, we're going to go ahead and create a vehicle class, and we will put some common functionalities which is across the whatever is there in all the vehicles. Let's say all the vehicle have some speed, all the vehicle have a model, and they have a type. So and the truck has a particular speed, right? So all these specific functionalities which are specific to the truck will go into the truck. All the common functionalities which are across the vehicle will go into the vehicle. But we can always say a truck is a vehicle, but we cannot say a vehicle is a truck, because vehicle can be a truck, can be a motorbike, can be a boat, etc., but a truck is a kind of a vehicle. So now we're going to go ahead and do a simple example to illustrate inheritance. So we'll go ahead and create a simple class first. So we'll go to File, New, Apex Class. I'll create a class called Vehicle. So let's say in this class I have two methods. Let's say public void a model method. You'll say model method of vehicle class. And let's say we also have another method here, public void the speed not debug. Speed of the vehicle depends on the type of the vehicle. So we have created a simple vehicle class. Now we're going to go ahead and create a class called truck, which extends from vehicle. So we'll say a truck class, and we'll say extends. So you have to make a class as a virtual class if you wanted to extend it. So I'll use the virtual keyword here, saying virtual. Now here, next thing is, so by default, both the methods get extended into the truck class. So now let's say truck has its own speed. So let's say I wanted to go ahead and use a speed method, and I'll say truck has a speed of 50 miles per hour. So this is a specific method. So this method you're overriding. Why? Because you have a definition of the speed method in the vehicle class, but you're overriding. You're overriding based on the truck class. So this particular method has to be declared virtual too, if you wanted to override it. So after I override it, this particular method I have to specify here. You have to use an override keyword to specify that I'm overriding this particular method. So this is what we have done. You have created a vehicle class, we have created a truck class. Truck class extends from the vehicle. So truck is a vehicle, and whatever is there in the vehicle class truck class gets it by default. So now we're going to go ahead and execute what we have done. So let's say we'll create a class called vehicle. V is equals to new vehicle. So I'm creating an object here of the vehicle class, and I'm also creating an object of the truck class. So we'll say new of truck. Now, why we are using a vehicle reference variable to point to a truck? Because truck is a vehicle, so you can put the truck object reference variables in the vehicle class. So we have done this. Now if we call v dot of model, so this is a method that is present in the vehicle class, but you're getting it from the truck. So that's fine because you're using inheritance. So whatever is there in the vehicle, you can inherit it from the vehicle class. And similarly, if I say v dot of speed, so it will go ahead and call the speed from the vehicle class, not from the truck, because v is pointing to the vehicle object. And if I say v2 dot of speed, it will go ahead and execute the speed method from the truck class because v2 is pointing to the truck. Now let's see what will be the output of the program. So I'm going to go ahead and execute this, and I'm going to go ahead and wait. So we're going to go ahead and click on the debug here. So if you compare the execution code with what it has got executed, so see v dot of speed. So this calls the speed of the vehicle depends on the type of the vehicle. So it is getting it from the vehicle class, even if you are because you're pointing to the vehicle object. Next class at line number 4, we are calling v2 dot of speed, and v2 is pointing to the truck object. So it's calling the speed method, the overridden method from the truck class. So truck has a speed of 50 miles. So this is the one that is getting called. And v2 dot of model. So truck does not have a model method, but vehicle class does. So vehicle class model method is getting executed even if you're pointing to the truck object. So if you look at the output, it's calling the model method of the vehicle class. So this is called inheritance. So what usually you use inheritance for is whenever you have, let's say you have an animal which has common functionalities, you put it in the same class, and whichever the classes which extends from the animals, and all the specific functionalities will go into those classes. So you are doing reusability of the code. And make sure you always use inheritance whenever you can say there is a relationship. You can't use inheritance with something like a circle and a guitar. You can't do that because they don't have any relation with them. You have to use inheritance when it makes sense. You can say car is a vehicle because that's true. If I ask you a lion is an animal, that's true. So you have to apply inheritance in those kind of real life scenarios where it makes sense to put inheritance. Just because you wanted to reuse some code, you should not do inheritance. So this is about inheritance, guy. I will recommend you to go ahead and do this example, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Till then, stay tuned and thank you.